For decades, Hollywood casting operated on a classic binary. On side, you had the untouchable, glamorous leading men who sold the movie posters. On the other, you had the eccentric, specialized character actors who populated the margins of the story. But every so often, an actor comes along who completely defies that rigid system, a performer who manages to live comfortably between those two extremes and, as a result, quietly dominates blockbuster cinema. Take a look at the highest-grossing action and sci-fi films of the 1980s and 1990s: The Terminator, Aliens, Predator 2, True Lies, Apollo 13, Twister, Titanic. One actor was a constant fixture across all of them, building a resume that spanned many of the most recognizable films of the era. Yet he didn't come from Hollywood royalty. He was a kid from Fort Worth, Texas, who got rejected by Southern California film schools. To get close to the industry, he worked as a set dresser and parked cars as a valet at the Beverly Hills Hotel. High-concept science fiction and disaster films required an anchor. They needed someone who looked and sounded like a regular guy to react to the impossible. Bill Paxton was exactly that guy. In his early days, Paxton survived in the industry by taking tiny, easily forgotten parts and injecting them with chaotic energy. Whether he was playing a loud punk in The Terminator or a bullying older brother in Weird Science, he turned minor roles into high-energy, memorable performances. That strategy peaked in 1986 with Aliens. Cast as Private William Hudson, he delivered a masterclass in panicked charisma, capturing exactly how a normal, terrified person would actually react to an extraterrestrial threat. This breakout happened largely because of a deep 36-year creative trust with director James Cameron. Cameron gave Paxton the runway to improvise and build the character from the ground up. Instead of playing a generic, stoic space marine, Paxton created a deeply human soldier. That performance earned him a Saturn Award, one of the top honors in science fiction filmmaking. This era proved he was highly effective at taking standard comic relief and grounding it. Audiences recognized themselves in his vulnerability, and studios took notice. As the industry moved into the 1990s, visual effects exploded. CGI, computer-generated imagery used to create realistic digital graphics, began to dominate the screen, often dwarfing the human actors under massive green screen environments. These expensive spectacles carried a distinct risk. If the audience couldn't connect with the people on screen, the giant digital explosions and rendering technology felt hollow and weightless. Directors needed a counterbalance. They cast Paxton in historical epics like Tombstone, specifically for his natural warmth and authentic Texan drawl. He even brought actual historical weight to the set, being a direct descendant of a Civil War general. You can see this clearly in Apollo 13. The physical scale and dense aerospace terminology of mission control could easily alienate a viewer. Paxton's portrayal of astronaut Fred Haise cut right through the cold technical jargon, giving the audience a clear human entry point into the crisis. He was the essential emotional tether. Directors realized his presence in a massive ensemble kept the viewer invested, solidifying his reputation for giving quirky roles a grounded human core. By the late 90s, he stepped fully into the center of the frame. He anchored the framing narrative of Titanic and took the lead in cultural phenomenons like Twister, both massive hits at the global box office. Even while dodging digital tornadoes or exploring the famous shipwreck, he maintained that exact same approachable, guy-you'd-get-a-beer-with energy. He never put himself above the material. He then leveraged this massive commercial success to fund deliberate, deeply intimate projects. He took on dark, complex roles in prestige dramas like A Simple Plan, and stepped behind the camera for his acclaimed directorial debut, Frailty. When he eventually took on the complex lead role of Bill Hendrickson in HBO's multi-season series Big Love, earning 3 Golden Globe nominations, he had completely erased the line between specialized character actor and traditional leading man. When Bill Paxton died suddenly in 2017 at the age of 61 from surgical complications, the response was immediate. A profound wave of grief hit both the Hollywood establishment and the viewing public. The industry mourned a trusted collaborator. James Cameron penned a heartfelt essay in Vanity Fair, detailing their decades-long friendship, and later dedicated his massive sequel, Avatar: The Way of Water, directly to Paxton's memory. But the public tributes were even more visceral. Across the American Midwest, Actual storm chasers used their vehicle's GPS, the global positioning system used to track their coordinates, to spell out his initials, BP, across live radar grids. Paxton's career demonstrated that no matter how massive the digital environments or staggering the budget, the most valuable tool in cinematic history will always be genuine, unpretentious human authenticity.